Well, if you're a gun owner in McDonald, Berry, Lawrence, or Christian County, you have a choice to make in the upcoming August 6th Republican Party primary. State Senator Mike Moon or his challenger, Susan Haralson. Who's going to fight for your gun rights in the Missouri Senate? Stay tuned, guys. We're breaking this race down for you right now. Hey guys, Aaron Dorr here with the Missouri Firearms Coalition. The August primary is right around the corner, and in Southwest Missouri, we're getting a lot of questions from gun voters about this Senate matchup between Mike Moon and Susan Haralson. It's Southwest Missouri, right down in the corner. It's McDonald, Berry, Lawrence, and Christian County, and it features an incumbent, in this case, Mike Moon, and this challenger, Susan Haralson. And the question that you're asking us here at the Missouri Firearms Coalition is not who is pro-gun. Gun owners have gotten wise to the fact that in Missouri, in a Republican Party primary, everyone's pro-gun. Everyone's a champion, everyone's a hero, everyone's a fighter. At the end of the day, we all know that talk is cheap. And so what you're asking us, rather, is who can we trust? Who can we count on? How do I know as a gun voter that if I send this person to Jeff City, they're going to keep their campaign promises? It's an important question for us to consider as gun owners. We have candidates right now, office holders right now in Missouri, Republicans, who actively vote against your gun rights in Jefferson City. Lincoln Huff, for example, lieutenant governor candidate and current state senator, has voted multiple times with the Democrats, once recently to oppose stand your ground law, once to support red flag gun seizures. We have other Republicans who want to pass a statewide red flag law, others who want to weaken the Second Amendment Preservation Act, and so we must, as gun owners, be suspicious, and we must dig into candidates and see if their actions match their rhetoric. And that's our goal with this video for you guys here today. We have compiled the results of our candidate survey program, public statements made by the candidates on their website, voting histories in the case of the incumbent, and a fourth category is the friends that these people are keeping to give you guys a snapshot on how these two candidates might vote on your gun rights if you send either of these two back to Jefferson City. And we're going to begin with Mike Moon. If you know Mike Moon at all, you know that the guy is always accused of being stubborn. And when it comes to gun rights, we like stubborn politicians. We like people who will not give, who will not bend, who will not budge when it comes to our gun rights, and that describes Mike Moon to a T. This cycle, Mike has surveyed 100% pro-gun with the Missouri Firearms Coalition. You can see his results of his survey on our website right now. You can read all the questions, you can see all the answers. Every question we asked him, Mike Moon answered 100% pro-gun. And what that means is he's opposed to red flag gun seizures, opposed to AR-15 bans, he's opposed to universal background checks, which is a statewide gun registry. He's opposed to any effort to raise the age on when young Missourians can buy firearms. He's opposed to the entire gun control agenda right now here in Missouri. But there's more to it when it comes to Mike Moon besides what his candidate shows, or what his campaign survey shows, rather, because Mike Moon's been in Jeff City for a long time. 8 years in the House, 4 years in the Senate, and that means that Mike Moon has had time to actually lead in the fight for gun rights and actually do things for gun owners. One of the things that Mike did was helped us pass SAPA, the Second Amendment Preservation Act, just a couple of years ago. You've probably heard of SAPA. It's the law that tells Joe Biden you can't use Missouri cops to enforce federal gun control law. It's the fantastic application of the 10th Amendment to Missouri in the context of the Second Amendment. It's got the White House enraged, the DOJ incensed. They've sued Missouri multiple times over this because that's how impactful SAPA is. The Democrats fought like hell for 7 hours on the floor trying to defeat SAPA the last couple days of the session in 2021. We had a handful of senators who stood up in that gap and fought back against the left to make sure that we got SAPA accomplished that year, and Mike Moon was one of those guys. Prior to that, Mike Moon helped us pass Stand Your Ground law in the Missouri House. Stand Your Ground law, as you probably know, allows you to defend yourself here in Missouri without having to retreat first. The problem with that, first of all, is it's dangerous as hell. If you have to retreat and you're running backwards against a violent attacker, he could attack you from your blind spot. That's ridiculous and it's dangerous. More than that, or in addition to that, it allowed blue city prosecutors, think Kim Gardner, of course she's gone now, but Kim Gardner style prosecutors, to come after gun owners because you didn't retreat far enough before you took defensive action. It's insane. We're glad we fixed that, and Mike Moon helped us with that in the Missouri House. The same thing for constitutional carry and enhanced castle doctrine. Everyone knows Missouri has constitutional carry. Mike Moon was a major player in that fight in the House. And enhanced castle doctrine isn't as widely known, but until a couple of years ago, if I was visiting you at your house, we were on your front porch one night, smoking cigars and talking about what a tyrant Joe Biden is, and somebody came to your home to threaten and attack your family, you could defend yourself, but I didn't have the ability to defend myself on your property. It was weird, messed up stuff. We fixed that a couple years ago in the House, and Mike Moon was a part of that effort. So every single time we've had an expansion of the Second Amendment here in Missouri, Mike Moon has been there fighting to accomplish these goals. 100% pro-gun survey, a history of fighting for gun rights. Mike Moon's a fighter when it comes to the Second Amendment. That's the recap on Mike Moon. But when it comes to Susan Haralson, the story is not nearly as good. Susan Haralson, first of all, refused to fill out her Missouri Firearms Coalition candidate survey. When a candidate will not tell us where they stand on our gun rights, especially during a primary when they need gun voters the most, it's almost always an indicator that that candidate will be part of the rhino swamp here in Jeff City that works to slow down and stop and kill gun bills behind closed doors in committee. Is it always that way? Well, yeah, actually it has been in my experience. Is it the case here with Susan? Maybe not. Maybe not. We'll give a 1% chance that maybe it was a mistake. But every time in our experience a candidate won't survey, it's never been a good thing. And what that means is that I don't know, and more importantly, the voters in the district, you don't know, would Susan Haralson vote for red flag gun seizures? She won't answer the question. Would Susan Haralson vote to weaken the Second Amendment Preservation Act? It's a big push right now. We don't know. She won't answer that. What about passing a mandatory waiting period on gun sales? The bill comes up every year in Jeff City. Would she vote yes? Would she vote no? We don't know because she won't say. The same thing for raising the age on gun sales, the same thing on AR-15 bans or magazine bans. All the issues of the day, Susan Haralson will not tell us as gun owners where she stands. That's a real problem for us when it comes to deciding who's going to fight for our gun rights. We dug in a little bit deeper on Susan Haralson's website. Now, by the time this video airs, maybe Susan changes it because her team watches this video. But as of right now, when this video is being cut, Susan Haralson does not even mention the Second Amendment on her website. Southwest Missouri may be the most pro-gun corner, the most pro-gun part of the entire state of Missouri, which of course is a very pro-gun state. And for a candidate to not even mention the Second Amendment on the website, I've almost never seen that here in over a decade fighting for gun rights here in Jefferson City. Very concerning stuff. And finally, when it comes to Susan Haralson, you can learn a lot about her by the company that she keeps. I told you about State Senator Lincoln Huff, who is running right now for Lieutenant Governor. You know, when I see people like Susan Haralson and Lincoln Huff arm in arm on their social media platforms, you know, very tightly connected physically, that's a problem. Lincoln Huff is the biggest rhino in all of Missouri politics today. There is nobody worse. Lincoln Huff is the Republican that I told you about who voted with the Democrats to kill stand your ground law expansion, to support red flag gun seizures. He's arrogantly and publicly supporting these votes in the press. And so for us as gun voters to see candidates like Susan Haralson arm in arm in these tight embraces with Lincoln Huff, that's a real red flag, pardon the pun, on how she may or may not vote on your gun rights going forward down the line. So guys, the recap is very simple. Mike Moon, 100% pro-gun survey, 12 years worth of experience and history fighting for your gun rights in the Missouri House, in the Missouri Senate. 100%. If you see Mike Moon, thank him for all he's done for gun owners here in Missouri. And if you see Susan Haralson, be sure to ask her, why won't you fill out the Missouri Firearms Coalition candidate questionnaire? Why won't you come clean and tell us as gun voters where you stand on the issues of the day? Why are you palling around with the biggest anti-gun rhino Republicans in the state? Ask her those questions, guys, and see what she says. That's our recap on this race. Do me a favor, if you're watching this right now on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, our website, wherever you're watching this, share it on social media. Make sure gun voters know where these two candidates stand, and you can see a whole bunch of additional race breakdowns on all those platforms. Please go and check them out and share them online. And to get involved in the fight for freedom today, go to joinmofc.com.